On this video, we're going to show you how to go replace your actual tires on your RV after the time has gone by and you need to change them out. And I've got a previous video where I showed you our tires, and I show you when you recommend, I think, 5 years. Like you say, on this one, it's got nice tread on it, but that tread has nothing to do with it. Just to go back over and show you again, what you want to look for is a number like this here, and this says the 51st week of 2018, and we're in 24 right now, so we're really needing to get these swapped out. They still look good, don't show any dry rot or anything like that, but they recommend at least 5 years you need to swap these out. So we're going to go through the entire process, and I thought I'd be doing this like in the camping type weather, but as you can see, the snow is just now going away, and we just we went ahead and ordered these from our tire company, and it's been 6 months ago when we ordered them. They were on back order, so they just came in about a week ago, and we were buried in snow, so we're just now getting some thaw, and we're going to get this over to the tire change place. And like I say, they know what size. You give them your size number, and it's a little bit different size because we're going to go with the Goodyear Endurance tire. So we'll go through that, and we'll show you what they do. We're going to have to hook this camper up to the car and haul it over to the place where they're going to change it out. I already called them, and in this case, we're going to come in early in the morning when they're not so busy. We're going to bring it in, we're going to park it in a particular place, and they'll probably bring something out to actually jack it up and change these out, and we'll have them balanced, and we'll have them put on here. Now, some people don't have them balanced, but I highly recommend that, and I think that's something you need to do. So we're going to go through the process. Like I say, we're got the appointment set up, and we're going to get this thing hooked up, take it over to the dealer, and we'll show you the step-by-step of how that's done and what it cost. And it was, as usual with everything else, the price has gone up since we originally ordered them, but we'll go through that step by step as well. Well, bright and early, I've got the camper out. I just decided to bring it as soon as they opened up. That was recommended by the people that putting the tires on, so they're going to do this first thing this morning. Our particular company doesn't have appointments for this. They just say drop in early in the morning, then they'll change it out. So, but you want to make sure you arrange that, and they got me parked over on the far side so they can get to it. They'll bring probably a floor jack out to work on that, so we'll see how that works out. So one thing I did have done, like I said, these tires aren't going to be near as aggressive as the other ones because these had the kind of the all-terrain on them, but honestly that does not that big of an importance because you're really not pulling with these tires, and it may make them a little shorter, and I believe they're going to get better gas mileage. But they've got this one up on, use the jack here, you can see. So now they got the other one off now, and they did inform me that the tire pressure sensing module that goes in there on the other side had broke off, and it was just bouncing around in there. That happens a lot at this point, so you got to make a decision. Do you want them to reinstall that? Most likely it's done damage if it's been bouncing around in there for years anyway, so it's probably not any good anyway. But that's just something you want to be prepared. I just told them to go ahead and remove those tire pressure sensors. That little band, they put a band that wraps around the tire on the inside of the rim. It holds that in place, and it breaks, and that seems to be pretty common, that happening. So just be prepared for that. And like I say, in my case, I'm just going to remove it. I've never used the tire pressure sensing thing anyway. Just keep a close eye on it when you're driving. But if you're wanting that to be reinstalled, you need to be prepared to have a nut to buy a new sensor for that, because it's going to probably bust loose. And One thing you want to check is make sure that that they are going to torque your lugs on here. Sometimes they'll use an air hammer to put that down, and it's supposed to be, he's going to do these at about 120 pounds. You want to look at your Dexter actual axles to see, but it depends on the size of the bolts that's in here is what the torque value is. But they're going to torque it to 120. Again, you might want to check on yours. It's different. One of these Dexter axles, they've changed them out through the years, so it may be different on yours. Also, I want to show you, this is the actual TPS system. The one side was still good, but I went ahead and had them remove it because I never used the system anyway. And then this is the one that was broke inside of there, bouncing around, so it may or may not still work. But just know what that's what that looks like. Like I say, normally it's around that rim, but after going for so long, it'll break, and that's what happened in this case. It broke loose and it was bouncing around in there. So just something to look out for. So here's the new tire, and you can see it's considerably smaller than the older one. It's not quite as wide, and there's not near as much tread on it. But like I say, that's not that important. Here's the number that's important to you. This is upside down, but it's 49th week of 24. That's when that tire was actually produced. So you want to make sure that when you put new ones on, that date's not too far out from when they put it on. Like I say, that's toward the end of last year. So I think that's, I don't know, somewhere in November. I have to look at that. But again, you want that within 3 or 4 months of when they installed it. So it's not an old tire that's sitting up on the shelf. So they've got her all done, and I wanted to show you what they do is they went down a size on the tires, and you see that they're a little more narrow, but these are more of a standard trailer size, and that's why she said that you definitely want to go with these. And so they don't even make see, these here are here they are down there, 225s, and then the other ones were 235s. And so they go down to that size. And she said they don't even make the 235s anymore. I believe you still may be able to order the Westlex in that size, but again, that's not a big deal. You kind of want to go to more of a standard size. That way, if you had a blowout on the road, you can swap these up pretty easily with not a big problems. I still maintain my spare underneath. Still my big old Westlake that's underneath there. Figure if we put that on there, it's only going to be for a short time until I get to a place where I can get new tires. So we got that pretty well done. Ask any questions, and like I say, I'm going to go over a little breakdown of the cost and then the comparisons here at the end. And one thing it did do on this one is it says max PSI is 80 PSI. They wouldn't put the 80 PSI in there. I may drop that down because that's a max load. So I may drop that down to about 70 to 75 PSI. Let me know if you've got these tires and what you normally cruise with on these. I'm not sure I want to go all the way up to that max all the time, but we'll see how well that goes and see if that bounces a little bit or whatever. So we'll get back with you on that. I will show you what I paid for these tires. Like I say, this is in the first quarter of 2025, so they may go up. I'm sure they will go up in time. And like I say, well, I did have them balanced too, but there you see the 535.41 after taxes. So not very cheap, but it is what it is. Wow, I'll tell you what, there's a big difference in these endurance tires as far as how smooth they ride. I mean, it's amazing the difference between these tires and the big Westlakes that were on there. And really seems like it's a smoother ride. You can see them back there in the mirror. They're doing really well, and I'm really surprised. Like I say, I've got them aired up to 80 PSI, and we'll see if that's where I need to keep them or maybe drop them a little bit. But I'm liking these so far. I'm just driving them home, and I don't know, we'll see over the long term if I get better gas mileage, and I'll let you know. But it definitely rides a lot smoother. If you look at this comparison between the tires that I adding the tires that I got. I borrowed this from someone off of the GeoPro group. They've already posted this. So if you look here, you'll see the Westlake's the 235s, and we went with the 225s. And that's like, say, I talked to the person that ordered them for me, and they said the reason they did that is that they said that they didn't make the 235s anymore, but I believe they still do. But the more standard size for trailers are the 225s. So he said it's better to have those, and so I liked it too. It's a little bit narrower, but I think it's going to work out good. But if you look at the other comparisons, you'll see here the load rating is at the 8-ply, and then the actual Goodyear Endurance or 10-ply, and then you'll see the speed is a little better too. Max 75 miles per hour and the 87 miles per hour. The load's a little bit less, but I think we're still in pretty good shape because you're only talking about one tire carrying half your weight, and these things don't weigh more than about 3,500 pounds loaded. Then you look at your PSI, it runs a little bit higher too. 65 PSI with the Westlakes, and then 80 PSI with the Goodyear. I'm gonna, like I say, I might see if I can reduce that a little bit because they put that in there on a 23-degree morning, and I'm kind of wondering if I need to go down a little bit on that initially and see where we're on a hot day. Hard shell back at home base with the new tires. I'm pretty happy with the purchase so far. Like I say, I'm pretty excited about how well it rides. So we'll be letting you know how these fare as far as gas mileage and things like that in the future. But that's about all we have for this video, and I hope that helps you out if you want to get new tires for your camper, and just a little bit of a step-by-step in and out of how it goes. But we'll talk to you again on another one.